Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. You guys know that song? It's like a children's song. But I hope all is well with everyone today. I hope all is well with you. It is. Welcome to my channel. Why are humans like this? Today is Monday, October 7th, 2024. It is 6:29 p.m. I'm going to try to not be on longer than 7. How is everyone doing? So I kind of want to follow up from the video, from the live I did the other day. No, I shared a short the other day, and I'm going to attach it to this live when I'm done. And the short is about me having a recurring nightmare when I was a child. When I was a kid, I would have this nightmare about a car chasing me. It was like a black car. I'm almost positive it was black. It was very dark, but I believe it was a black car. And I would be running, and the cars follow me no matter what corners I turned, left, right, front, down. Even when I tried to hide, the car would find me. The car would always find me, chasing me, and I'm like panicking. And to be honest, I remember it wasn't just a car. I used to have another dream about just some type of ghostly, creepy figure, dark. I couldn't recognize the face. It would also chase me. No matter what I do, chase me. No matter what I would do, it would find me. So same with the car. Same with the black, mysterious figure. It would always chase me. And like I posted on my short the other day, dreams of being chased by a car. I think probably being chased in general is like you're running away from something, something's chasing you, you're having anxiety about something, and a lot of that kind of stuff happens with children. And I had shared on the short that as a child I was abused as a child, so it made sense that I was having those kind of dreams because I was trying to get away from something. I didn't know how to get out of the situation, so dreams sometimes are a reflection of what's going on in your life. Sometimes dreams are just mysteries that you'll probably not understand, but I just remember like not wanting to go to sleep. I was afraid of the dark for a large part of my life. Like, did not want to be in the dark because dark meant scary things. The dark meant nightmares, scary dreams. I mean, I used to even have like night terrors, and those are really scary. Did you have night terrors where it's like a few minutes after you're falling asleep, you're basically at the point where you're trying to fall asleep, and you're half asleep, half awake. You're trying to wake up, but you can't. You're screaming and nothing's coming out your mouth. Those are, I haven't had a night terror in a long time, and I hope I never have one. Those are really creepy. Let me look at the definition of night terror. Let me see. Well, let's look at what dream means. Dream definition. Hope you guys can hear me. The definition of a dream is a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. Okay. Also known as a succession of images, thoughts, or emotions passing through the mind during sleep. Now let's look up the definition of nightmare. What is the definition of a nightmare? Nightmares are frightening dreams, usually during REM sleep. REM means rapid eye movement sleep, that are normal and common in children under 10 and can also affect teens and adults. So yeah, I used to have a lot of nightmares under the age of 10. A lot of nightmarish things was happening to me in the daytime. So at night, I would have dreams that was like a version of what was going on in my life, of being abused sexually, especially. I was also physically abused, emotionally abused, neglected, all those things. But the biggest issue for me at the time was I was being sexually abused. So I would have nightmares about that. Now let's look at night terror. Night terror. I had those too, but I haven't had them in a long time. A night terror is no sleep paralysis, but I'll say what night terror is. Night terror is Episodes of screaming, intense fear, and flailing while still asleep, often paired with sleepwalking. I don't think I've ever had night terrors, but I've had sleep paralysis. Let me see if anybody's in the chat. I don't want to ignore anybody if you're in the chat. So I'm gonna look up. Okay, nobody's in the chat. If you're in the chat, please like this. Please like this live. I'll appreciate it. But we're gonna get back to the main topic. But let me look up the definition of sleep paralysis. Those are really scary. All right, sleep paralysis is a temporary inability to move or speak while falling asleep or upon waking. Sleep paralysis most often occurs in people who have narcolepsy or sleep apnea, but it can affect anyone. Episodes involve not being able to speak or move while falling asleep or upon waking. This usually lasts 1 or 2 minutes and is often frightening. It is very scary. So leave a comment if you have had a night, if you had sleep paralysis. It's so scary because my sleep paralysis, it's almost like it was a creepy figure in the room with me, next to me, trying to like hurt me, and I'm trying to wake up and I can't wake up. So it was really scary. So maybe mine was sleep paralysis slash nightmare, but it was never fun. Like I just, for a long time, I didn't like to sleep. For a long time, I've suffered from being a night owl, suffered from depression, insomnia, all those sleep things. I'm trying to have a healthier relationship with sleep now that I'm older. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm away from my abusers, and at any time in your life, you can come involved with people who are very abusive. But I'm saying, like, I'm not a child anymore. I'm an adult, so I can choose who I have around me for the most part. But as a child, I had no choice. I had to be around abusers and people who were harming me, and no one was worried about it. No one suspected anything. So I had to survive a lot of traumatic things, and a lot of it came out in my sleep, in my dreams. And I was just afraid of sleep, afraid of the dark. Like anything that had to do with sleep, I was afraid of it. Did you guys have dreams and nightmares when you were children? Can you relate them to anything? Were you going through anything traumatic? Were you being abused as a child? Or did you have a normal childhood and you still had nightmares? Or did you have a normal childhood and you only had dreams? Leave a comment. Let me know, like, what kind of dreams did you have as a child? Let me know what kind of dreams you had as a child. It's not something I really have talked about with people, but I know people have had nightmares. But I think it's really cool to hear what other people's experiences, what experience they had in their personal life and also in their sleep life. But yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense why I did not want to. I'm gonna let the plane go by. It makes sense why I didn't want to go to sleep, why I always was a night owl. I was just didn't want to. I tried to prolong the sleep as long as possible, and I used to feel like the longer I stay up, the sleepier I get, and eventually I'll just fall asleep suddenly and I won't think about it. But the idea of thinking about the sleep gave me a lot of anxiety, thinking about when I will fall asleep, when I will have another nightmare. And it's funny because one of my favorite movies is not favorite. I mean, one of my favorite scary movies is Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. And the whole part of Freddy Krueger is that he would haunt you, he would hurt you in your sleep. So the idea of sleeping was very scary. So it was like that movie was real to me because it's like when I fell asleep, that's when scary things would happen. So that movie was creepy to me because the idea of sleeping was scary. But in Freddy Krueger, like while you're sleeping, you were literally being killed. That's the movie. But I heard, speaking of Freddy Krueger, I gotta make sure it's true. But I heard that Freddy Krueger was actually a child molester, and he was killed by the neighborhood townspeople. And it's crazy how that's not really talked about because it's like people celebrate Freddy Krueger as like this cool villain, but he was a child molester, and that's why he was dead. And like he was allowed to come back alive and just terrorize people. Let me look it up. Freddy Krueger, was Freddy Krueger a child molester? Was Freddy? Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that Freddy Krueger was a child molester? Okay, it says AI overview is not available for the search. Anyway, according to Google and Wikipedia, Freddy Krueger, it says it was later turned into Dynamite Entertainment's comic book series, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. In the 2010 remake of the original film, Freddy's backstory is that he was a groundskeeper at Springwood Badham Preschool who tortured and sexually abused the teenage protagonists of the film when they were children. Yeah. So yeah, according to everything else, it says um, the the latest version also confirms that Freddy was a pedophile, something that was merely hinted at in 1984. So ever since I heard that, I didn't like the movie Freddy Krueger anymore. I thought it was creepy. Because at first I thought it was just like a cool. I don't know. I just don't see how they can make art out of a child molester. Like, how are you allowing the child molester? How are they allowing the child molester in Nightmare on Elm Street to be the victor? He basically was. I mean, in the end, I guess the children won. The teenagers won against him, but he was allowed to terrorize people. He was allowed to kill people. Like, he was a child molester. I don't understand why they felt. I don't know. I don't know. It was a weird idea. But in real life, there are child molesters everywhere. But I don't like how it just basically looked like he was the victor and everything. Like, oh, he's a child molester and he also gets to terrorize people in their sleep. So I feel like they should have wrote it where he was, you know, not looking so like he had a huge ego in the movies in the series. Like Freddy Krueger felt like he was the man. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say they glorified him because he was a child molester, but it's just I don't know. I feel like they could have did it a different way. But I'm not sure what the original person who made the movie. Who was the director of Nightmare on Elm Street? What was his name again? I don't know. I forgot the guy's name. Let me see who's the director. Nightmare on Elm Street was directed by Wes Craven, of course. Wes Craven's classic slasher film. Several Midwestern teenagers fall prey to Freddy Krueger, played by Robert Englund, a disfigured midnight mangler who preys on the teenagers in their dreams, which in turn kills them in reality. After investigating the phenomenon, Nancy Heather Langenkamp begins to suspect that a dark secret kept by her and her friend's parents may be the key to unraveling the mystery. But can Nancy and her boyfriend Glenn, played by Johnny Depp, solve the puzzle before it's too late? But yeah, it's actually available on Max. So A Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984. It's on Max, Philo, YouTube, Hulu. So I have Max and Hulu. I don't need to watch that movie anymore. But it's crazy how Rotten Tomatoes gave them 95% rating. So Rotten Tomatoes is like a very big movie critic um, group or whatever, and they feel like it's a good movie. You guys, if you're in the chat, leave a comment. Did you have any dreams as a child? What were they about? If you feel like sharing, I don't want to bring back any bad memories for you that you haven't processed yet. But I'm curious of what kind of dreams you had as a child. I mean, I didn't have all scary nightmare dreams. You know, my childhood was traumatic, but there were cool dreams. Like sometimes I would dream that it was like a. I think one time I dreamt it was like a truck driving full of money, and I remember like some of the money falling out, and I was like happy because I was fun, collecting the money. I love having good dreams that has a good ending, like it's a really cool ending, or but sometimes you wake up and it's not reality. It's kind of sad, bittersweet. Like, man, I really wish I did win the lottery or have some money or was happy. The dreams where I feel like I'm happy at a happy place in life, those are the best dreams. My dreams have been so unpredictable. Like, I don't, obviously you don't know when you're gonna dream, what you're gonna dream about, and it's so crazy how once you wake up, you can't really remember the dream. It's so crazy. But sometimes I do remember the dream, and I try to look it up. And some of the stuff makes sense. Sometimes when I look at my dreams and the reasoning behind it makes sense. Like the whole being chased by a car thing, like I would always have that dream constantly. It took a long time for that dream to stop being recurrent. It took a long time for the dream to stop recurring. But yeah, a lot of it happened in my younger years. It was like I just remember feeling like traps. I felt like, dang, why the car keep targeting me? Why won't it run after anybody else? Like, and I didn't remember seeing anybody else in the dreams or the nightmares. It was always me being targeted. And I remember always looking to see if there's somebody to help me. There was never anyone there to help me. I mean, I guess just like in real life, when I was being abused, no one was there to rescue me and save me. So it's just like life imitating art, whatever they call it. So it makes sense. I don't know how they came to this conclusion about dreams, but I guess they have to do some research where they would ask people, what kind of dreams you had and what is going on with your life to see how it makes sense. But I'm glad that I'm older and I don't fear going to sleep now. I just like have, I have moments of having insomnia and having moments of having anxiety and depression. Mostly anxiety, and I don't want to go to sleep because it's like, I don't know. You feel like you have so much going on in your mind and your mind can't relax. So sleeping has always been an issue for me for a long time because you have to be in a very like peaceful, almost peaceful space to finally fall asleep. A lot of times we have way too much going on in our mind. So it's good to have a nice like night routine, and I really didn't have a night routine growing up. It was always like chaotic. I just knew I had to go to sleep, but it's very important to have a very good night routine with your children. Have give them a good meal. Make sure their stomachs are full. A nice warm bath or whatever temperature is comfortable for them. You know, moisturize, lotion up, and even like magnesium lotions or lotions with even lotions with what's that thing called again? Uh, Lotions with melatonin is nice to relax the body. Um, Maybe talk about the day, how the day went. Read them a bedtime story if they're still into stories, and tuck them in. Give them, tell them you love them. Kiss goodnight. Just have a nice, all the time routine, so your children can have something to look forward to, and they know what's next, and they feel at peace going to sleep. Like when I think about it, I was never like tucked into bed. I was never, it was always just go to sleep. I've never had a routine where I was like giving a hug and like, hey, good night, have a good sleep. And I feel good that I can give that to my children. You know, I love that I can give them a comfortable, safe, relaxing routine at night. And they can look forward to sleep instead of having anxiety. Like when your child is going to sleep, sometimes they don't want to go to sleep. And sometimes they're having anxiety about the next day, or you got to reassure them. So I try my best to reassure them that everything's going to be okay. Whatever you didn't get a chance to do today, you can get it done tomorrow. Children need to feel reassured. Feeling reassured really helps with anxiety. You don't want your child growing up anxiety ridden. You know what I'm saying? It's not a healthy life. Okay, I'm gonna read something I found online. No, that's long. Okay, it says, why is it important to reassure children? If you smile at your child when they look towards you, or reassure your child when they're frightened or uncertain, your child will feel safe and secure. This gives your child confidence as they explore their world. All children do best in an environment where they feel supported, encouraged, and safe. And I try my best to do that for my children. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again. Why is it important to reassure your children? If you smile at your child when they look towards you, or reassure your child when they're frightened or uncertain, your child will feel safe and secure. This gives your child confidence as they explore their world. All children do best in an environment where they feel supported, encouraged, and safe. And I agree with that 100%. I didn't get any of that as a child, and I do my best to get that to my children. And that is from raisingchildren.net. And I'm going to read something else. It says, what is a 3-3-3 rule for anxiety in children? For parents of younger children, help them come back to earth from spiraling thoughts with 3-3-3 rule. Ask your child to name 3 things they can see, identify 3 sounds they can hear, and move 3 different parts of their bodies. I love that. I'm going to try that. I love that. So if you guys are looking for tips on how to reassure your children, from possibilities, forcechange.org, it says, ask your child to name 3 things they can see, identify 3 sounds they can hear, and move 3 different parts of their body. Kind of brings them back to reality. It's very important to reassure children. Of course, at first, number 1 is to make sure you have your child in a safe environment, a safe living situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're speaking about dreams and nightmares. So if your child is having an unstable life, an abusive life, they're going to have nightmares and stuff like that. So try your best to have your child in a safe environment so they won't be having nightmares. They won't have fear and anxiety and stress unnecessarily. Adulthood gives you enough stress. Like, let children be children. Let them have their childhood. I just wish children were promoted and talked about more. Childhood is such a critical time. It's such a crucial time for the child. It's so much that I want to discuss on my channel about child development. There's so much I want to discuss on my channel about child development, how the brain works, because I feel like a lot of people need this to be drilled in their head. You know, everyone needs to be reminded that children are just children. They're not little adults. They are just children. They're not going to remember everything. They're not going to get everything right. Be easy on them. Be gentle on them. Remember when you were a child. Did you like being rushed? Did you like being screamed at? Did you like being hit? I bet you didn't. You know, and some people say, oh, well, my dad hit me. Oh, Francesca says hi. Hi, Francesca. Welcome to the chat. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Did you have any dreams or nightmares as a child, Francesca? And what were they about? If you feel comfortable sharing. You don't have to get into details. If you feel comfortable sharing. But yeah, like, you got to treat children how they should be treated. Treat them how you wanted to be treated as a child. You know, if you didn't enjoy being hit, screamed at, abused, all the negative things, like, if you take everything negative from your childhood and you didn't enjoy it, obviously it's negative, then you need to do the opposite for your child. Talk to them nicely. You know, we all gonna have bad days. Sometimes we all get angry, we all yell, but apologize, try to make it right, and don't make it a habit. Because you're human. Your child needs to see that you're a human being. We're not robots. And your children aren't robots, so you can't expect so much from them. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much their little bodies and little minds can handle. Like, stop. You know, I feel like we need to really cut out the whole, oh, you're so mature, she's so mature, she's so prime, she's so mature. You got to really think about, why is a child mature? Like, are they being given, like, duties that they shouldn't have as a child? Like, they're giving tasks they shouldn't have to manage? Maybe that's why they are so mature, and it's not always a good thing. Francesca says, Yeah, I used to have the same bad dream every night as a kid. Okay, thanks for sharing that. If you okay, if you feel comfortable, you can tell us what kind of dream. But if not, don't even do it. I understand. But thank you for sharing that. And are you over that dream? Like, are you at peace with that? Like, are you okay now about it? Because like I shared my story of having recurring dreams of having a car chase me, also like a monster chasing me, and I could never get away no matter what I did, no matter how I hid, the monster would catch up with me. Um, it makes sense now when I researched it, when I looked it up of like what it meant, what's the meaning behind it. It makes sense. I was going through a lot as a child, so those kind of dreams were just basically it was a message in a dream that I didn't understand as a child, but I understand now. It's very interesting to sit back and reflect on your life, your most earliest days, like the days that you didn't know what was going on. You were just going along with the program. You just wish you could go back in time and just hug that little innocent child that was being hurt, abused, neglected, disregarded. You know, that's why you gotta love on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Because at the end of the day, we just came onto this earth as little humans, and some things happened to us that shouldn't have happened. And the way you coped with it was your way of surviving. So be easy on yourself. You know, I'm always going to encourage everyone on my channel to please speak to a mental health professional if you're having any trauma, anything that you haven't been able to get over, anything that you're struggling with. If you have anger issues, you got to get to the root of why you're so angry. Why are you always screaming? Why are you always mad? Why are you so miserable? Why can nothing make you happy? There's a root to that, and I bet you it leads back to childhood. You know, please get help. Don't go around making everybody's life miserable because you are unhappy. It's not fair, and it's especially not fair to children and your child. You know what I'm saying? Just because you had a traumatic childhood doesn't mean you should traumatize your own children. It's not fair. It's not right, and that's like child abuse. Okay. Um, we live and we learn. There's no perfect. I tell me something they're not comfortable with, especially if you never like really addressed it with a professional. You got to get past certain things before you can really talk about it. So you really can't force people to talk about things that they're not ready for. It's very triggering and it's very insensitive because there may be some things that I'm not even comfortable talking about, and I maybe thought I was comfortable with it now, but I'm not. You never know until the situation happens. Francesca says, as a kid, I seen a creature that scared me in a movie that they made me watch, and I don't know exactly why. But when I was a kid, I only had nightmares. I only got one good dream once, the nightmare. Thanks for sharing that. Do you remember the name of the movie? But I know that must have been really awful. I feel like it's just like it was our brain's way of trying to cope with what we were going through or what we saw at the time. So the brain is really amazing. It's amazing that the brain could come into this world like a sponge, ready to soak up all this information and knowledge. And abuse causes the brain to not properly develop. Some people have like a stunted type of growth, but the brain is resilient. You know what I'm saying? With practice and with therapy, you can repair things in the brain, things that went wrong. Obviously, not everything. I'm not a doctor. There's some things that it has caused permanent brain damage, like injuries and stuff like that. But if it's trying to teach your body or teach your mind new tricks and new patterns, you can do that with practice, the right kind of therapy. Just you got to look it all up. There's different kind of ways to heal the brain, to heal the mind. And I'm not talking about traumatic injuries, like physical injuries, like a car accident. I'm talking about like, oh, you were abused. Well, some things can be permanent as well with physical. I mean, not just physical abuse can be cause permanent damage in your brain. It could be other things. Um, Francesca says was always the same. The creature. Oh, she said the nightmare was always the same. The creature chasing me and me getting paralyzed and couldn't move. It gets so bad that in my dreams I created a method to wake up from the nightmare. It's audio. Pause to take a. Hey, Francesca, I honestly used to have a way to wake me up too. And it's so weird. So, my dad, I don't know what it is. I would think about my dad. He wasn't a perfect man and he had his issues. But for some reason, he was something that helped me get out of my nightmares. I would just say his name and just like close my eyes and just focus on getting out, and then I would get out. And to be honest with y'all, when I was in my religious days, I used to say, I think I used to say Jesus, like Jesus, 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 Jesus. Like I just didn't know what else to say, and I would get out. And also my dad, like daddy, 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 like, and then I would come out. So I don't know if my dream was like telling me to focus on something that you associate with help or positivity or strength. I don't know. An old coworker told me that he um his advice to when you're having a nightmare is to look at the person or the creature in the eyes, and then it's like you looking at them in the eyes make them weaker or something like that, and then you'll get away. It was a tip. I think it actually worked, but it's scary to think about it. It's scary to think about looking at something that you don't know what you're looking at. But sometimes you have to look at things to really see it for what it is. And I mean that's deep right there for me, because I try to not look at things or think about things that were hurtful, harmful, or dangerous. But sometimes you have to look things right in the eye. You can't know what you're looking at if you're not looking at it. So yeah, one time when I was having a nightmare, as an adult, like recent years, I looked the creature, whatever it was, in the eye, and it helped. I don't know if the creature disappeared or I woke up, something. It was just it worked out. But it's scary, the anxiety, even in dream, thinking about looking at something scary. But you can't fight it if you don't know what you're fighting. Francesca says a lot. It's audio cause it take a lot of years for me to have normal dreams and not only nightmares. I don't feel comfortable saying the name of the movie. It's still kind of a trigger. Thank you, Francesca, and I'm sorry for even asking you. Thank you for not telling me the movie. I don't want to trigger you anymore. I think it was the way of my head to in person my discomfort, maybe of what used to happen when I was a kid. Francesca, have you ever spoken to a mental health therapist? Have you got any counseling or therapy? Um, this could be a deep live, and I don't want to trigger you. I don't want to make you unhappy. I don't want you to have any bad experiences. Okay, so if you have things you need to work through, I definitely advise you to speak to a mental health therapist. And if you're in the USA, just even simply calling 988 or texting 988, they help with people who are feeling suicidal or having some type of crisis. So if you don't already have health insurance for mental health services, if call around to your insurance company if you have one. Check with Medicaid. If you're in the US, even call 211. But you don't have to face these things by yourself. Okay. Francesca says, oh no, it's okay. Don't worry, dear. She said, I'm in Italy. Okay, I'm glad you're okay. I didn't want to make you unhappy or distressed. I know certain memories are not easy. So I always tell people, please only share something that you're comfortable with. I would never want to make you feel pressured or anything. Francesca says, I go to a therapist, but I don't feel very comfortable with her. Okay. See, Francesca, when it comes to therapists, I'm always going to advocate to find a new one. If the one you have is not helping you, you're not getting anywhere, they're making you feel uncomfortable and safe, they're not professional, get a new one. There's thousands, millions of therapists out there. I have been through several, and I have one now that I feel comfortable with. I like her. So I like my counselor. She is the best out of all of them so far. Cream of the crop at this point. Um, because some therapists, some counselors, they need therapy. They need counseling. So they're humans as well. So sometimes their method, their personality is not going to mesh well with you. Don't take it personally. You know, some people, even your own therapists and counselors, need therapy too. They have also been through trauma. They have also probably been through things. So they're going to mess up. They're going to be imperfect. They're going to have issues, clashes. And you have a right to find somebody different. You have a right to tell them that you don't like their services no more, too. Francesca says, I'm in a particular situation and I can't change her. Okay. Well, have you considered telling her straight up, like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, or can we try something else? Be honest with your therapist. It's your money, your insurance, or it's your time that's being there. So you should have a right to say what you feel comfortable with, what you want. It's your session. So I hope the situation gets better for you, and I hope you can feel comfortable, Francesca, talking to your therapist. It's like you guys are in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a therapist patient relationship. So you should have a right to say what you want to her, as long as you both are being respectful. But I really appreciate you sharing that, Francesca. I really do. I hope you're doing well in Italy as best as you can. How's the weather in Italy right now, Francesca? It is like 60 something degrees right now. I'm in the USA. I'm in Ohio, and it is seven. It's 5 minutes after 7 p.m. 7:05 p.m. and it's a little bit on the. It's not cold, but it's not warm. So you need a sweater. You need a light jacket, especially in the evening time. Francesca says, plus I have another one in the CSM, mental health centers in Italy, where I don't go anymore often, but I can't change them either. Or it is very hard for me to do. So public health in Italy is very bad. It's getting colder and colder. I miss the summer. Yeah, I don't miss the summer, Francesca, but I miss that we had more daylight, because now it gets darker earlier. Summer is not my favorite season, even though I'm a summer baby. I prefer spring, when it's acting right. And I like early fall. I'm not a fan of winter. I'm not a fan of summer. Like, summer is cool, but I don't like when it's so humid and so hot. Like, I like high 70s, or not even high. I'm perfect mid. Give me a 75 degrees. Give me a 75 degrees and I will love it. I will flourish in it. That's my kind of weather right here. So between 70 and 75 degrees is chef's kiss. Perfect weather. Winter is cool to look at the snow when you're inside, warm and cozy. You don't have to go to work. You don't have nothing to do. But when you have to drive in the snow, when you have to work in the snow, I don't like it. There's people who love snow. They love the cold. They love snowboarding. They love sledding, skiing, building a snowman, everything. I'm not a fan. As a kid, it was interesting. It was cool. But as an adult, I'm okay. Like, I'm over it. Been there, done that. I am not Anna and I'm not Elsa. I don't like the cold. Francesca says, I used to prefer the dark, but recently I appreciate the more hours of light in the summer. Yeah, I've never liked the dark when it gets dark early. I prefer the summer because, darkness is associated with, like things. I don't know, I can't explain it. Darkness can be associated with dark things and negativity and sadness and depression. Darkness can, but once we start seeing the beauty in darkness, I think that's when we won't be afraid of it. So I have recently, been just like embracing the darkness, embracing it's a part of life. It's not gonna last forever. It's temporary. It's not always gonna be dark all the time. And this it gives you encouragement to take advantage of the daytime. Get as much done as you can in the day. So at night you won't feel stressed and rushed. You feel more at peace and you can settle down. You know, make the darkness work for you. Francesca says the dark used to make me feel more comfortable and safe. I'm not sure if I already read that. Um, yeah, I've never felt comfortable in the darkness. Never, Francesca, because of the nightmares I used to have and because of the abuse I had as a child. I was never darkness. I associate darkness with terror, something hiding, something's gonna grab me, something's gonna hurt me. I never saw positive. I always thought there was a monster in my closet. I used to always say there was a monster under my bed. Somebody's around the corner. Like that's how I lived my life because of what I went through. So I just grew up being paranoid, on edge all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a work in progress, baby. And anybody who has had childhood trauma can relate to me. If you're, want to be honest about it, it really changes your brain, your whole response. Like your body is constantly on, your brain is on guard for you. It's like, where's the danger? Where's the danger? I'm here for you. And it's like you gotta tell your body to chill, like everything is okay. It's not an emergency. Like you really gotta talk to yourself, like, I'm okay, we're okay. Let's breathe together. Somebody, you really just gotta breathe. Like breathe. You know what I'm saying? When you're stressed out, when in doubt, just breathe it out. When in doubt, just breathe it out. I'm always making up a song. Don't mind me. Francesca says, plus, I'm kind of productive at night. Yeah, I feel you because I'm a night owl, so I can get more productive at night. But I'm learning the beauty of being productive at the day because at night you get to relax, you get to chill, and I love a chill. I love relaxing. I love chilling. I love feeling safe and chill at night. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel on edge. So for me, I feel like it's better to get things done in the day. So at night, I can chill. I can unwind. I can do some self-care. So I have been learning to take more advantage, try my best to take more advantage of the daytime hours and save a night for relaxation as much as I can. I don't like to overload my brain, you know? Francesca says, when I was little, I was very scared of the dark like you. I had abuses too. That's why the dark made me safe, because they good to sleep, and I think I didn't have to be school. There was a peace. I didn't have to be at school. There was peace. No, I can see where you found peace in that, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Okay, I know it takes a lot to share things. You know, many people takes years to even whisper that they were abused, and I really appreciate you coming out and saying that in the comments. That's very strong of you. That's very big of you. You are a survivor, and I appreciate you for being here. You know, I respect people who have the courage to talk about things that's not, you know, fun to talk about. Talk about things that people don't want to talk about. You know, people like to gloss over the bad things and like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It happened that long ago. But you don't know the impact that did to someone's life and their brain. Never diminish someone's pain. And you can't tell anyone when to get over something or how to get over something. You know, everyone's path is different. So just be gentle with people, be kind, give people grace. Francesca says, plus I'm kind of a goth, I guess. I really like scary and dark things. I always loved Halloween as a kid, even here in Italy. It's not like in America. Yeah, I've heard so many people say, you know, travel and you will see how America is different. I've never been to Europe. I've only been in North America, and I do want to go to Europe one day. I want to experience it. Traveling is so awesome. I wish I was rich. I wish traveling was easier to access. And I know that, you know, there's a will, there's a way, there's a plan, you can do it. But I would love to travel more, you know, outside of North America, Europe, Asia, Africa. Those are the main places. In South America, those are the main places I want to visit. Have you been outside of the UK, Francesca? Have you been to the USA? I know you said you said Italy is not like not. I know you said Italy is not like the USA. Have you been to the USA? Like I said, I have never been to Italy, but I love pasta and I like pizza, so it'd be really cool to visit. I know that you guys have more than pasta and pizza. Like it's a whole vibe over there. I'm hearing good. I've been hearing, you know, mostly good things. So I've heard that you guys are more healthier because you know the foods are more natural and you guys are way more active, and that's a really good healthy lifestyle to have. And even people like in Japan, they're healthy too. Like I respect countries that are really big on exercise, fitness, health, not you know too much food and just advertisement, fast food. And I know that life is hard and they make us busy and we end up eating and doing too much, but health is wealth. That's all I gotta say. Like, just do the best you can. We all can't eat like a clean diet all the time and so healthy and salads all day, but try at least most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Your body needs it. Your body needs good things in it to be healthy. It's not just your mind that you need to work on. Your body, all of it has to do with your health. And I'm a work in progress. Like I've been slacking on my fitness. I have been slacking on working out. I love when I get in the mood of working out and I want to do it every day. And I hate when I get out of it. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. It's like come to the point where I don't even think about it anymore. But I want to get back in the habit of it. I love doing Grow with Joe. I usually try to kick off things to start with her. Grow with Joe is a fitness channel. She does like aerobic stuff and she's on YouTube. She has like over 1 million subscribers. I think maybe 2 million. She's really cool. Young mom. Yeah. Grow with Joe. GROW with WITH Joe JO. So I'm gonna try to do some of her tomorrow if I can. Francesca said, to be honest, I'm in a place of victim. Wait, to be honest, I'm in a place of victims of violence. My parents were always abusive. My father was getaway, and I grew up with my mom. I escaped her in May 2023. The services didn't work well. Francesca, thank you for sharing that, and I'm glad that you're free. I'm glad you're away. Um, I'm glad that you're in a place that's for people that can help you. Francesca says, I ended up on the streets and then I found a new place where I am right now. So are you feeling safe and comfortable there where you are now, Francesca? I hope you are. I'm gonna be going inside soon, so I'm gonna wrap this up, everyone. Um, it's getting late, it's getting darker, and I have a few things to do um, before the night ends. Francesca says, kinda. It's pretty hard, but like we said, it is a roof. I'm glad you have somewhere to go, Francesca, and I hope it gets better soon. Try your best. I know it's hard to think positive. Try to focus on what's working right now, what's going good, and see if you can get other services and other ways to get out of there and get a better place for you. Just try your best and just reach out to any local social services organizations that can help you. There's a job for some. Everyone has a job, and I'm sure there's a job out there that can help you. I don't know what they call it in Italy, you know, but I'm sure Italy has a resource line that you can call maybe or text. But ask questions where you are now. If you need another kind of service, maybe ask them. But just think positive and do the best you can for right now, Francesca. Francesca says, I'm sorry for what happened to you, too. I know how it is. Thank you, Francesca. I really appreciate it. And I talk about it, Francesca, because I want others to feel safe and comfortable talking about it. For so long, I was a victim and was made to be quiet and didn't feel comfortable talking. And now I feel comfortable talking in the way that makes me feel comfortable. And, going through counseling and stuff like that, I have learned so much about myself and I have been on a big healing journey. And I'm glad that I'm in a happy place. Nothing is perfect, nothing is ideal, but I love me. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of my children. I'm content. And I'm going to keep working on getting as best as I can. That's all you can do. Keep trying. There's a popular saying going on right now that you're 1% better than you were yesterday. I think that's how it goes. Francesca says, and 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 I know how it is hard to even recognize some things and how painful it is. Yep, Francesca, so true. So true. I was, for so long, I was afraid of the pain, afraid of facing things, so I didn't talk about it. I didn't discuss it. But it's like I'm tired of running away from my past. I'm tired of being angry and sad and miserable and asking why. Um, I want to make sure I don't get it wrong again. So, what has really helped me, Francesca? A lot. Nothing's perfect, but what has helped me is EMDR therapy. That's E for elephant, M as in man, D as in dog, R as in rat. EMDR therapy. Um, EMDR therapy is eye movement desensitization and processing. I always struggle with that word. Is a psychotherapy technique that helps people heal from trauma and other distressing experiences. It involves a patient moving their eyes in a specific pattern while processing traumatic memories. The goal is to change how the memory is stored in the brain, reducing the power of the memory and replacing negative thoughts with more positive ones. So that has helped me a lot. Like I said, I'm still a work in progress, but it has helped me a lot, and I'm so happy for my growth and where I am in life, and from where I was. You know. Let me see. I'm gonna read a couple more comments, and then I'm gonna head out. So let me see. Francesca says, I know. The first time I talked was December 2022. Never talked about it with anyone. I tried when I was little with some relatives, but didn't work. No, I never shut the F up. Francesca says, sorry, was that the name of the treatments? Yeah. Yeah, let me put it in the chat. Let me see how I can put it in the chat. It's EMDR therapy. That's what has helped me. Let me see if I can figure out how to put it in the chat. Let me try to write it here. EMDR therapy. So you can look that up. What's that word? Hyponesis? I gotta look that word up. Let me see. Hyponesis? Hyponesis. I don't know what that word means. Maybe I'm not saying it right. Let me know what the word you're trying to say, Francesca. Okay, hypnosis? No, it's not hypnosis. I apologize. You know what? I guess you could say it's not hypnosis, but it's kind of like a therapeutic hypnosis where you're not under a total trance. It's not like they're gonna like ding and I wake up. So it might give you that vibe, but it's not. It's not like hypnosis. I've never been hypnotized before, but this is not it. You're not. No, there's different ways to do the method, and you're not put to sleep, or you're not told to think of a word, or like snap my fingers and now you're awake. It's nothing like that. It's techniques that you do that help you focus. But look it up, Francesca, if you get a chance. It's not hypnosis. It's not. But like I said, I've never tried hypnosis, and I'm too nervous to even try hypnosis. Like I would be worried that somebody would put something in my head that I can't get out. I don't know, or maybe do something that I don't really feel comfortable doing. So maybe I need to research hypnosis more to see what it's like and not be afraid of it. Yeah, EMDR has helped me. Also, another reason why I don't want to do EMDR, I'm sorry, I do EMDR. Another reason why I don't know about hypnosis is the movie Get Out, one of my favorite movies of all time. If you guys already seen the movie, I'm gonna try not to give it away if you haven't seen it. But the mother, she is a hypnotist, something like that. She does hypnosis, or she hypnotizes people, and she ended up hypnotizing the guy in the movie, and it's like that's a whole nother thing right there. So because of that, how she got in his head and she made him go to the sunken place. If that's anything like real hypnosis, I don't want nothing to do with it, baby. Like y'all can have it. But I'm gonna do my research before I completely cast it away. I'm gonna research because maybe the movie was dramatic about. I don't know, but I've never known anyone personally that has said, "Hey, I've been hypnotized before." Never knew it. But I will do my research. It's good to be informed and educated and not ignorant and in the dark. Be informed, be aware. Don't take your information from just one person or one source. Do your research, ask questions if you're unsure. Don't just blindly follow people. You're welcome, Francesca. So Francesca, I'm gonna get off the live now. I really appreciate you being here. You were awesome. If you're not subscribed, please do. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you don't already know, I make videos about survivor stories. And I hope to see you and everyone else in another live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.